Well, guys, today is a crazy episode. We have Tommy joining us from somewhere in Ohio. Jack is not able to join us today. He is in the urgent care with his daughter. We have prayers up for him. And me and Ty are here solo. We got a lot to talk about. The Eagles versus the Cobras crazy series and a wild ending to that one. We have the playoff format all set up, and we are going to go through our predictions and who we think is going to win each series as well as the World Series. We have a little hint to you guys about where the World Series is going to be played, and then we're going to get into who we would like to see throw out a first pitch in an MLW series. We got a lot to talk about, but anyway, welcome to the Pipe It Up podcast. Cue the intro. All right, there's going to be a lot to digest here, but Ty, let's start it off. Let's just get everybody's thoughts and opinions on that series. It was a wild one, kind of a little bit, anticlimactic, what we were hyping it up to be, but still a good series nonetheless. Ty, what were your thoughts on the first two games and then that crazy game three that, I'm sure none of us expected?
I will say the first two games were great. Dallas pitched amazingly. Very impressed with his performance. Same thing with Caden, always doing good. The game three was, like Levi said, not expected with anybody. A lot of comments on all the platforms about, should the Eagles have done that? I know they wanted to play us, but it's just kind of disrespectful. A lot of people saying that. Overall, I thought it was a good series and a very interesting way to end it. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, like you said, Dallas Allen in games 1 and 2 looked like the postseason Dallas Allen we saw last year.
Sure.
He was piping up, hitting spots.
Pipe it up.
Yeah, shout out, pipe it up. But, he was looking great. His pitches had some great movement and overall looked like an ace in that series. And, the first two games, I kind of knew that the Eagles were going to be playing with, the playoffs are on the line here. So they were going to do whatever it takes to get it done. But they really looked good in those first two games. And I was very shocked by Dallas's, how he went in a game two as well when they already had that series kind of locked up. Yeah. And so it was very interesting series for sure. But Dallas looked very good. The Eagles hitting looked solid as always, Dan. But my thing was it was really cool to see Andy Durand on the mound.
That was
a little throwback.
Uh-huh.
I know, Tom, I'm going to ask you this question here. You have played with Andy Durand, since the beginning, since he first joined in the league. How was it to see him kind of back in action and on the mound again and kind of really full circle now, probably 7 years later?
Yeah, Andy's an athlete. He's going to go out there and try to get it done the best he can. I unfortunately think that his ceiling is only so high as a pitcher just due to the lack of experience. But, it was funny to watch nonetheless. I actually enjoyed how Kyle kept some of the bloopers in and, the dialogue after the series wrapped up after that game three. So props to Andy for going out there and giving it a go. I think all of us, it brings a smile to all of us veterans' faces when one of the guys goes out there in what is now a very competitive pitching league with elite aces on all 8 squads and goes out there and gives it his all. It's funny. It's kind of what MLW was built on, was just, backyard competition amongst local friends. And to see Andy go after it as a now young adult, it's pretty funny. So I love watching Andy compete. It's fun.
Yeah.
Definitely was a fun game, fun thing to see. Games 1 and 2 are great. Game 3, I think, is what we're all here to talk about. You guys really probably want to get into. We were supposed to have Caden on today, but unfortunately he's not going to be able to make it. But I do have a few things to say about the game. I talked to Carson Urgitis earlier to answer a few questions in case this happened. But my biggest question with this was, and a lot of comments were about it, was it actually Dan's idea for them to play like that? And if so, why did Dan do that? So Carson said that it was Dan's idea. They had a mound meeting, and he was like, okay, guys, we want to play the Cats, so we're going to throw this game, as you guys all saw. And I was just talking to Carson. I wonder if there was a more respectful way to throw that game. I feel like they definitely could have lost in a way that wasn't, that to the Cobras. But, Levi, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I definitely thought that the moment it really was like, what, was when Carson got the ball and just chucked it over the backstop.
That was the worst, dude.
You could hear Dallas.
Carter.
Yeah,
he tries to volleyball bump it over the fence. Misses that, gets the ball into Carson on the mound, and he just throws it over the backstop. Nobody's even running home.
I know in the background you can hear Dallas like, no. Like, what? This is too far. And it was really funny to watch. But I definitely think you probably could have put him out with, or could have put yourself out with a little bit more ease. I mean, without making it look obvious. I know, really, MLW is full of a bunch of good hitters, and I've learned the hard way. If you put a lot of risers in the zone, you're gonna give up a lot of runs.
That's exactly what I was telling Carson. Like, you could just throw the same pitch, like walk guys even. They're gonna score eventually.
Yeah. And you saw it with Caden Irwin, too. I mean, that one that he hit off Carson was actually a very good pitch.
It was a legit pitch.
I think that the Dan kind of took over dad mode and was like, guys, this is too far. And told, I think that's when Carson started to – he actually looked better. He did have a slide drop against Andy Duran that, I mean, it's an MLW pitch. It had a lot of nasty movement on it, and kind of shows you, like, anybody on that Eagle, that's why the Eagles are very dangerous going to the postseason. It's like, you never know when someone's going to strike. You never know if Carson Urgaitis will, come up with his bat or even his arm. You never know when C-Rich is going to do anything like he did in St. Louis. And it's a very scary team to know with a bunch of talent, both sides. A lot of times that you haven't seen them, kind of like Justin Esch against the Diamondbacks. You haven't seen him pitch a lot, but they have good stuff, and it's just kind of hidden by more talent above them. But Ty, I got a question for you. How do you feel that a team purposely sold to play you guys? That's got to leave a chip on your shoulder.
It definitely does. I mean, I see where they're coming from. They did sweep us in the regular season, but I know Jackson definitely is taking it personal. Saw him in the comments about it, but I don't love how they did that, and Cats are definitely going to come ready to play them come playoffs for sure.
Yeah, that's going to be a very fun series, and definitely in a little bit we'll get into some of our predictions on that. Now that the slate is set, it's going to be a fun one. But, I think that the Cats-Eagles is going to be an interesting series. As you said earlier, they got the best of you guys in the regular season, and I think coming from a managerial standpoint, Dan lost, those 2 games to the Preds, and I honestly think he was scared of Evan Porter. I think that they've seen Ryan enough where last year, they got the best of us last year, and if it was Ryan Cratch they were worried about, there goes the phone. Oh. I don't think that they would be nervous. I think that Evan Porter kind of brings a little bit of a spark that the Preds wanted this year. Because, obviously last year, Ryan, he did well. We just didn't have enough offense. And I feel like our offense has definitely gotten better with Justin Esch and Drew Davis, but I think that a little spark of Evan Porter that they saw, against them, I think that's really what kind of made the choice for Dan was Evan Porter. And I think that's having an X factor as a rookie is a big deal in LW.
Did Evan pay you to say that?
No, I'm just sticking up for my Pred. There we go.
Yeah. No, I see that. Evan's having a good year. Definitely a new look for them. I'd be scared of Evan too. Yep.
Yeah, my final thoughts on the series were, again, the Game 3 thing, I think you guys are right. There's a way. First of all, I don't know if I would ever actually sandbag a series like that, like truly sandbag a game.
Yeah.
I think you can hope for outcomes in certain situations, but to actually go out there and playing with football, which is such a fun, loose sport, and intentionally lose, I don't think I would ever advise my guys to do. And I think there's me and my old school ways. I think there's a right way to do it, and I think the immaturity of some of the members of the Eagles team showed a little bit, and it just got out of hand. Where as a fan, like if I was a Cats fan, I would feel disrespected for sure.
Yeah.
I think the Cobras should feel a little bit slighted as well. That was something new to like the modern era of MLW, where a team like truly sandbagged the game start to finish. I think anyone who plays the Eagles in this postseason should have a chip on their shoulder, just knowing that, like, they did this, and it's a little bit of a slimy move. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I understand it. I do. And I thought Dan's post-game comments were pretty comical in a sense. Like, I didn't want to do it, but I felt like I had to. He comes clean about it. So it's typical Dan.
Yeah.
And we'll see. Eagles are a great team. I'm not gonna say they're not. They're gonna be tough to beat in the playoffs. I talked about that before. How I felt like beating them was like a true step in the true gauntlet of conquering the MLW postseason this year, as they are 2 straight World Series, one win in those World Series, and they're a great team. So didn't love it, but I think it should give the Preds some confidence, and hopefully the Cats get the Eagles, run for their money.
I truly believe that the Cobras are a contender next year with the right draft pick. I think that Drew Davis, he's had his good draft picks. Justin Esch turned out pretty well. Cole Kwiatkowski's looking pretty good, but they need an arm. They need a second arm for sure. And I think that if Caden Irwin can manage this offseason right, he has the stuff to be an MLW ace. Obviously, we saw it this year. Before that series, possibly a Cy Young candidate. He's had success in the MLW, and I think they've always been one Game 2 pitcher away from being a contender. And you saw that even when they made the World Series when Barron stepped up and you had Sawyer, and they had a good offense. And I think that now they have Caden and they just don't have that secondary pitcher. So I think that if Caden can make the right pick in this draft, and I think this will be probably the biggest draft pick in MLW coming up, because this is going to be make or break the Cobras' future, is this draft right here. But I think if Caden can make the right decision, that the Cobras are a contender. And I think, Cole Kwiatkowski, we saw him this year. He looked good. Caden Irwin's always been good. And Zerlag in times, and I'd say he had a solid year this year. He's also a vet, and he's a very good player. I think that the Cobras, they're not like the White Sox of the MLB. They're kind of just, people see the Cobras as like, oh, that's just it's an easy win for any team in the series. But I will say that the Cobras, they always are a very tough team and a team that you shouldn't overlook. But I think that if Caden can make the right pick, I'll say it again, that they'll be a contender.
Big number 1 pick for the Cobras. They actually have 2 picks. They have the number 1, and then still deciding on that second pick. Depends what the Preds do in playoffs. But yeah, 2 picks for Caden, so it's going to... Two chances to definitely solidify the roster coming into 2026.
It's going to be a big draft coming up this year. I think it's going to be one of the biggest ever. I know the last 2 drafts have had some big impact players. We've seen it, but I think this one will truly have players that are going to be key to building and renaming your organization. And I think that Caden Irwin's got a lot on his plate, especially as a new manager halfway through the season. It's a lot on his plate for him, for sure.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I think once Drew was out this year, I didn't expect the Cobras to win this series. They did not, and they likely would have gotten swept if it were not for the Eagles' shenanigans in Game 3. We talked a lot about them, but the one thing, and I failed to mention this on my first go-around talking about Dan sandbagging that game, but is this really affected the Magic as well in this series. It caused them to miss the postseason. I mean, if the Eagles would have won 3-0, it wouldn't have mattered. But the Cobras losing, the Magic get eliminated. So that's the other team that misses this year. And I do think the Magic were a step above the Cobras, pretty significantly.
I agree with that.
I want to talk about them as the other team that missed the playoffs this year. I sort of mentioned to Jack how I thought legitimately 7 teams had the talent and what it takes to win competitive playoff series. I don't think the Magic were as great on paper and weren't performing as great as teams like the Mallards, the Eagles, the Gators for the majority of the season. But they had tools, right? It didn't work out with them with Grant this year, and then Agger missed a key series as well. That series they dropped to the Cobras in Maryland was really the difference for them, and they unfortunately didn't have their full roster. So Brady Pearson was fantastic, and I think he gives them a new spark. With him and RJ, that's 2 of the best young players in the league, and they're very young. They're on the younger end of that spectrum. So I felt for the Magic. I thought they had a great season. I fell just short. If this one series would have played differently, they would be in. And I do think they were in a different tier than the Cobras this year in terms of, I think we all had sort of written off the Cobras from the beginning, whereas the Magic were truly just one different series outcome, either one that they played in versus the Cobras, or if this one or another one had fallen a different way. So it's a bummer. I know Jack, he wanted to talk about it today. He is bummed. He had to take his daughter to urgent care, so hopefully everything's okay. But he's very bummed because he agreed that he didn't feel like they were the 7th best team in the league, despite that's where they finished. So I feel for him. It sucks. I've felt very similarly in the past about Mallard's teams that didn't make it. Like we had a 7-8 team. I think that fell short one year, and I was just crushed because I felt like, man, if we can just get into the postseason and give ourselves a shot, anything can happen. So that's a frustrating feeling as a manager, especially when you were that close to being there.
Yeah, and I want to add to your point, Tom. I think that really just shows the growth of the league. I mean, 2 years ago, the Magic were the best team. I mean, they came out on top. They won a World Series, and I truly believe that this year's roster was just as good, if not better.
I think it was better
than their World Series winning roster. And I think that I know they didn't have Grant Miller for the whole season and when they needed him most, but I will say I think Brady Pearson fills his shoes very well, almost to the point where it's like having a Grant Miller in your lineup, and having John Paul Gunn is a little boost of confidence and energy and a spark to that team. I feel like that honestly might be better than your World Series winning Magic squad. They had a lot of the same faces there this year, and that's just to show that a World Series winning team 2 years ago didn't even make the playoffs this year, and anything can happen. Really, anything can happen. I mean, there was like you said, all those 7 teams. You put them in a playoff bracket. You put it on generate 10 times. I think you get 7 different World Series winners. I think that you just got to get hot at the right time, and the Magic definitely had the players and the the keys to do that for sure.
Yeah, that's a great point. This year was super competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Really unfortunate for the Magic. Feel a few Magic fans. I know it wasn't great, seeing Game 3 with Carter on the mound, but just sucks that that's how it shook out. And I know Magic will be back next year though, so lighten up, fans, and 2026 for them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a fun one. Well, that concludes our thoughts on this Eagles-Cobras Wild series. Now, let's get into the comment of the week. This comment comes from YouTube from NJ Miguez, and he says that if I had a nickel every time a Cobras series has had a controversial managerial decision, I'd have 2 nickels. But, NJ, I'm not going to lie, I think I'd be a millionaire. I don't know. I don't know what 2 series that are coming from. Why specifically it's 2 nickels. I don't know.
You would be a millionaire, so you could
Yeah,
okay.
I could
So
see a lot more than 2.
Okay,
That's what I'm trying to say.
we got some examples here.
I don't know about a million.
That's a
But
lot.
I think you'd have a good dollar maybe. Solid.
Yeah, solid dollar.
That is
Who's
true.
on the dollar bill? Who's on the dollar bill? I'm blanking.
Oh man, I believe I know Benjamin Franklin's
Somebody's
100.
gotta know.
It's George Washington.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
gotta be
Oh yeah,
it.
of course it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's-
On the
okay.
$1
On the dollar bill.
Oh my gosh.
I need to
Man.
cut that out. I sound so stupid.
I know my money.
Yeah, Ty knows his ones.
Yep.
I only carry big
Alright,
bills.
I know my hundreds too, so don't get that mixed up. Anyways,
Yeah, I'm not too sure what 2 series you're talking about, NJ, but I like the idea. I thought it was pretty funny when I saw it.
I think there'll be a lot less now that Caden's the manager.
I will say I agree with that. I
Yeah.
think there'll be a lot less
No
nickels.
shade on Drew, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
NJ, you're not going to have as much money next year.
no.
All right, so now that we kind of wrapped up talking about the series, obviously how it went down, Eagles dominated until they decided to throw it away.
Do that.
But we do have our playoff matchups set. The stage is set and the lights are bright. It's going to be a fun one. And I want to start off with the Preds and the Diamondbacks. I want to go through what you guys' thoughts are on the matchups and then who do you think is going to win that series. So Ty, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, so full prediction right now, I'm taking the Preds 2-1. I love what you guys are doing right now, and I think the momentum into the postseason, especially coming off last year with that World Series loss. I know you guys have a fire lit under you guys, coming out hot. So I do want to see you guys beat them, make a run. I want to see Evan get some playing time in the postseason, hopefully. But so I have you guys 2-1 against D-backs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ty, I think this will be a good series. I have a tough time betting against postseason Jimmy. I think he's a different
true.
breed a little bit. And I think one thing I don't know at this point is what roster the D-backs will have available to them for this series. I think if they come full strength with Sailor and Matt there for the vibes, Shima, These guys are all best friends. There's a reason the trades were made. They wanted to, get their hometown crew together in this league and make a title run. So now that they have that chance, I think they're just really dangerous. So I know you said the Preds are hungry. I would argue that this D-backs team is just as hungry, if not hungrier. I do think Norp is a bit of a gamer, and he surprised me in Slate 5 with how he came on the mound and pitched and complimented Sully so well. So I'm going to take the D-backs in the nail-biter 2-1.
I like that pick. D-backs are a good postseason team. That's going to be a great series.
Yeah. Well, all I got to say is it's really hard to beat a team twice in MLW. I'll say it again. But so I'm taking the Preds. I'm going to take us in 2. A little insider info for whoever's watching the pod is I will actually not be at that series. Very disappointed, bummed out, but I'll be in a wedding in St. Louis. But that being said, I think that there's going to have to be someone who steps up. Either Warda, Russell. I don't know if Rudy will be there, but I don't know. But there's going to be someone who's going to have to step up at the plate because that's going to be whoever's pitching, either Sullivan or Jimmy. That's going to be their main point of attack is on that weak side of – I'm not saying a weak side at all, but I'm saying I think that's probably going to be their mindset going in is someone who hasn't seen as many reps this year. They're going to go straight at him. But I think that Ryan – he wants this more than anybody. I feel like he doesn't want another MVP. It would be nice for him, but I think he really wants a World Series more than anything. So I'm taking the Preds in 2.
Got to take your own team.
Take your own team. Yeah. Now, time to your team.
X factors in this series for Tom, Drew Davis, and Jimmy Norp.
Okay, I like it. Drew Davis, Jimmy Norp. X factor from.
X factors.
Oh, X factor. I'm going just one X factor. And it's going to be Justin Ash.
I was going to say that.
Coming off of a great series, I think the ceiling's he's only going up. So I'm going to say Justin Ash can be the X factor of the series. But if Jake Sullivan is put into a big-time situation and he's on, he will also be part of that X factor.
Man, just take both my X factors, Levi.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was going to go Jake, since you took Justin. So I got Jake being my X factor for the series. I love watching him pitch. I'm excited to see him in the postseason.
Like it. All right, Ty. Well, let's move on to your team series. You got the Eagles. They chose you.
Yep.
Does that change? Does that change anything?
They chose you. They really did choose.
They did. They did choose us, and we know that we're coming out fiery. It's gonna be a great series, and Cats are ready. So, yeah, Levi, I'm gonna go last for this prediction.
All right.
So you
I'll
start
go
us
first.
off. Eagles, Cats.
Eagles, Cats. I hate to say it, Ty, but the Eagles are. They're kind of just like the Tom Brady of the 2010s.
Yeah, but they're coming off a game where they're just messing around.
True.
I feel like that might carry into the postseason.
I will say I think it'll go to a Game 3. I think that the Eagles are going to win. I think you guys are going to win Game 1. I think the Eagles are going to win Game 2, and then they're just going to go straight from it.
All right.
Kind of ruin the momentum. X Factor, it's got to be Dallas Allen. I mean, who else? Last year in the postseason was almost untouchable. I think this year, if he looks like he did games 1 and 2 against the Cobras, it'll be scary for anybody going against him.
Yeah. Tom has some connection issues, so I'm going to go before him, then we'll come back to him. But Eagles, Cats, I'm taking Cats 2-1. It'll be a close series, but I still got us winning. X Factor, in my opinion, is going to be JP because he's going to go out and shove. And on the other side, I don't know, just Cats, just Cat X Factor. It's going to be Jackson. Yeah, I got Cats 2-1.
I like it.
Mm-hmm. All right, Tom, are we better now?
Can the folks at home hear me?
Yeah. All right, we're good.
All right. Sorry, folks. Mobile Tom here, checking in once again with the prediction. Cats, Eagles. It pains me to say it, but I am going to take the Eagles. I think it's going to be a sweep. I just think the Eagles are better. I'm just calling a spade a spade.
Yeah,
I hate to be
it's
the bad
fair.
guy. I'm going to root for the Cats. After Dan sandbagged, I will 100% be rooting for the Cats.
I hope.
But I think they're the better
like
team pretty much on both sides of the ball. I think pitching-wise, Dallas, we know he's very, very good. He's now done it before. He's been to 2 straight World Series, like I said earlier in the pod. Offensively, they're the most consistent and deep lineup in MLW. Somehow, this sounds disrespectful. It's not, but somehow Carson's a great hitter. I didn't think he would be in this league, but he's hitting really well all of a sudden. So you mix in that with Dan, Dallas, older brother Landon, and it just seems like this lineup has no holes despite losing Zach Whalen and Blade Walker. It just seems like the Eagles are kind of the team to beat. I've made that pretty clear from my own opinion, so I'm going to take the Eagles in a sweep.
Now, this was my before any of the playoffs were formed. I did say in my predictions that the Mallards were gonna make the World Series this year. It happens that if we beat the D-backs, we would play them to get to the World Series. And I'm going to be a man of my word. I don't want any shade thrown at me, but I'm going to stick to what I said. I do think that Jordan Robles is on a mission, and I really don't think that anybody wants to get in his way. He has just been locked in this year, different than past. I think I know it sounds cringe, but you could just see it in his eyes. Like, really, I mean, we were in New York. You could just see it. He's just kind of, it almost feels like he's kind of bottled up all this anger and kind of just hate from the fans since he's been a rookie. And I think he's just ready to just go off in the playoffs, and this is his year to prove it. And I will say, even though it's against us, I'm going to go with what I said originally, and I'm going to say Mallards 2-1. Mm-hmm. And I think that the X factor of that is going to be it's going to be Preston.
Yeah,
he's been smacking the ball ever since the home run derby. He's just been on one. So I think that's it's just going to be my prediction.
Mm-hmm. Well, big team guy Levi Fleer betting against the own Predators squad, but I gotta agree with you, Levi. I also have Mallards 2-1 against the Preds. My X factor is also going to be Preston, because Preston's just he's on it right now. So, yeah, I got Mallards 2-1. I agree with that completely. Postseason Jordan is also a great pitcher, so definitely don't want to see that. But, yeah, I got Mallards advancing to the World Series this year.
All right, well, I have Mallards versus D-backs, not the Preds. This one, I mean, I picked against the Mallards in the past. I've also picked the Mallards in the past. Either way, we have not won. We have not won a postseason series in really like the modern era of MLW. I think it's probably been since like 2019 or 2018, somewhere in there. It's been a long time. Maybe it's my fault as manager. Maybe it's been bad luck. I don't know. I mean, I feel like we've beaten ourselves in many of those series, if not most all of them. So this year, I'm definitely taking a different approach with the guys and trying to keep everybody calm, not put too much pressure on anybody, and really just treat it as if I'm not there. They seem to play loose when I'm not around, and they have fun. So, I mean, I'm still going to manage them, of course, but I don't want to be, the manager that no one wants to play for. So I'm going to try to keep it loose, keep it light. I think my lessened role, talent-wise, might actually help that a little bit in terms of, like, they know I can't put too much pressure on them because I myself am our worst player at the moment. All that said, I'll get into that before our series comes out, I guess, and my true strategy as a manager. But I'm taking the Mallards, not going to pick against us. Looking forward to this series. I do love playing the D-backs if it is them there. And Jimmy's a great competitor. I said they have great chemistry. They do. But I think one of these years, all of our experience and the heartbreak of loss, we've got to be able to find a way to gut one out. So I'm going to take us in a nail-biter in 3 games to get to the World Series for the first time in 7 or 8 years, whatever it's been.
Yeah, you guys are due. Got to get that dub.
So we have all three of us have the Mallards going to the World Series. Yep. All right, well, let's head over to the other side again. This time, my prediction is the Eagles and Gators.
Not Cobras.
I think we all have that.
Yeah. No, okay. I have the Cats.
Except for Ty.
I have the Cats. Yep.
He's at home.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll kick it off. I don't think this series is going to be – I don't know. I don't want to say it, but I don't think the series is going to be primarily close. I think the Eagles outnumber and just outperform the Gators in almost every aspect you can think of. Sawyer Bean, great pitcher. They have good bats, but I just don't know how they're going to face up against Dallas Allen. I know they got the best of them in the regular season. Now, that was early on. That was when Trackman was on the bump. Trackman doesn't have to pitch this series. I mean, the Eagles are just going to be hot. I think they're going to be coming off of a win against the Cats. Ty doesn't think so, but I think that Dallas is going to be in his postseason form, and I really think that it's going to be 2-0 Eagles.
Given that I also have the Eagles, Ty, I'll let you go last.
All right.
I do think the Eagles will ride that momentum from beating the Cats and defeat the Gators. I know the Gators have the highest seed, the 1 seed. I do have a little bit of concerns about the pitching staff. I mean, Sawyer's great, don't get me wrong. He has a very high ceiling because his drop ball when it's on is just extremely frustrating, but he does have days where he struggles to find the zone. I don't know if Dustin will really be in the mix as a pitcher in the postseason at all. I don't know. A lot of question marks there for me. And again, I'll just speak to the Eagles' offensive depth once again. I think it'll go 3 games, let's say, but I'm going to take the Eagles to the World Series to take on what I hope to be the Mallards.
All right. Well, you guys both have Eagles, and I don't even have the Eagles in my game, so I got Cats versus Gators, and I know the Gators beat us regular season in Chicago, but I just don't think that's going to happen again. Like Levi has been saying, it's hard to beat a team twice, and I think that wasn't a great representation of us in that matchup because, the ball was not the best. I think we're going to see better pitching from both teams in that. So I'm going to take my Cats. It's still going to be close. So I have 2-1 Cats over Gators. I think JP again is going to ball out. Just postseason JP, something about him. He's so locked in. It's just hard to bet against us. So I got Cats over Gators. Heading to the World Series.
I think we all have.
You got Cats Mallards, Ty?
Yep, I got Cats Mallards. Gonna be a good one.
2018 rematch.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
How
well.
old were you in 2018, Ty?
How old was I in 2018? I was 10.
Wow.
You were 10 too. Why are you saying wow?
Because I don't know. I just didn't picture it like that.
Levi says, wow.
Yeah, like
As
you
if
weren't
were
the same
so
ages.
stronger to the 2018.
Yeah, it's just weird to think of, like, the last time that you in the World Series was when I was 10 years old.
Well, it wasn't the last time we were in it, just that we played the Mallards.
No, I know.
Oh, yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Crazy line there.
Yeah.
Yep. It's been a while.
All right, well, we got our World Series matchups all finalized. So I guess I'll start us off. Got the Mallards versus the Eagles. I think that it's going to be the best series of the year, possibly of all time, because those are 2 juggernauts going at it. And I think that, like I said, postseason Dallas Allen is very scary, but I think this year Jordan Robles is going to have a different type of feel. Is where, like, in previous years, the Mallards have kind of been known for being a very good team in the regular season and kind of dying out in the postseason when it matters. I don't think that'll be the case this year. I have the Mallards in 4, and I think that the first game is going to really depend. It's really going to reflect the series for the Mallards. I think the first game, if the Mallards get the win, I think they'll get it in 4. If they lose, I think they're going to get it in 5. So I got the Mallards winning the World Series this year. It's going to be a fun one. I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right, Levi. I love it. I'm actually going to take the Eagles, which will really suck if it happens. But I love my boys. We're going to fight. I hope we can win. We're going to try to. We're going to prepare to. If and when we get there. Yeah, I'm going to say if and when because I have confidence. But the Eagles have really just had our number in the past. They see Jordan Robles better than any team. I think this is probably our most difficult matchup if it happens. And I feel like we can beat them once. Maybe we get game 1, but I feel like as soon as they get momentum, we haven't shown that much depth behind Jordan. And once they start getting to him, we're probably in trouble. So I'll take the Eagles in 4. After the Mallards get game 1, the Eagles take 3 in a row and win the series in 4.
I like it.
All right, so Levi has the Mallards winning. Tom has the Eagles winning. In my matchup, I have Mallards Cats, and it's I don't want to be biased, but I'm gonna take the Cats, and I'm gonna take it in 5 games.
Homer.
I know how I just said that it's hard to beat a team twice, but we're just gonna beat the Mallards twice because we're just gonna do that. So Cats are a big momentum-based team. We missed the playoffs last year, coming back this year in playoffs. So we're gonna make it count. We're going to build off the last few wins, and I think we're going to go all the way this year. So I got Cats in 5.
I like it. Well, those are...
That's you're losing a little credibility here. I think with the fans that are saying it's tough to beat a team twice.
Well-
Then when it comes to your squad, those rules just don't apply.
I mean, that's just how it is when it comes, we're just, it's 5 games. It's not 3. So, I guess that doesn't really matter because you still win 3 games. Anyways, we're still just going to beat you guys in 5. So that's what I got.
Okay.
Well,
good luck with that.
Thank you.
Godspeed to you.
Hey, thanks, man.
well, that concludes our thoughts on the matchups for this year's playoffs and who we think will win the World Series. But speaking of the World Series, there's one unanswered question, and that is where will it be played? Now, coming this Friday, there will be the video that reveals where it is, but we're going to give you guys like a one-word clue.
Is this thing on?
Oh, it's on.
Oh, let's
on.
go.
There we
I'm
go.
on.
Kyle Schultz on the pod.
I just pulled up
Let's go.
from the side chair, and I'm not even on camera, but you know what? I can
You
just
can
be
hear him.
a voice in the back of your head. So you guys, they've been telling me, guys, they've been giving me words, but they're too obvious. You guys are so smart. You'll get it right away.
Yeah.
So I gave you one word. You can say it. What is the word? That can be your hint.
Grass.
Grass.
That's the word, guys.
That's the word.
Nah, I mean, I know you probably all figured it out by now, so don't go spread
Yeah.
it. But
I don't want you guys to know before Friday. It's the fun of it.
it is.
Anyway,
Grass.
Grass.
That's the hint.
the real segment here is going to be if we could choose one celebrity to throw out a first pitch in MLW wiffle ball, who would it be? This could be anybody. It doesn't have to be a celebrity. It could be anybody. It could be MC Newey. Shout out
Okay.
MC Newey.
No one knows
Anybody.
who MC Newey is. It's John Paul Neuenschwander's dad. Anyways, first pitch, Levi, you go first.
If I had one person, I would choose Bartolo Colon.
Solid pick, Levi.
It's my favorite athlete of all time.
There you go. He reminds me of you
Thank you.
sometimes.
I strive to be like him.
All right. All right, my pick is going to be Ty from Dude Perfect because that would be awesome. Great to meet him, and also like one of the best athletes of all time. So you just know it's going to be a strike. Also, my second pick, because I'm just going to do 2, is Jack Doyle because Jack's got to get that get back on throwing strikes on
Yeah,
first pitches. So
That's true.
that'd be cool too. All right, Tom, you got an answer for this one?
Well, first of all, Ty, the problem with your answer is you said you'd meet Ty from Dude Perfect. The issue there is the Cats are not going to make the World Series, and therefore you would not meet Ty from Dude Perfect.
That's so lame of you to say.
However, if I had to pick a celebrity to throw out the first pitch, I think I would choose maybe Joe Buck. Give me like a big-time, long-standing broadcaster.
That
Like
might
Joe
be
Buck.
the worst possible person you could have ever chose.
Hey, don't hate on his pick.
Joe Buck? You could have got Gus Johnson.
Tom, that's a great answer.
Levi, bro.
Yeah,
He's a legend.
Levi, I think I've had
Passes,
enough
caught.
no pun intended, young bucks on this podcast.
Oh, man.
He's not even in my top 5 announcers of all time.
You can respect the name, dude. He's a legend in broadcasting, whether you like him or not.
Yeah, I guess so. But man, I honestly, I would actually, good point. I want to meet one of my favorite broadcasters of all time is Mike Tirico. What a name.
Tarico would be great.
That'd be great.
Would be great.
Better than Joe Buck. Could have Gus Johnson on the call for the MLW World Series. It'd be electric.
Would.
I think Joe Buck is just probably objectively. I like Gus. Don't get me wrong, but I think Joe Buck is objectively more famous than Gus Johnson.
Yeah.
Joe Buck has called so many, like World Series, big games, Super Bowls. Like he's done it all.
Yeah. Agree.
All right, boys. We really fumbled our way through this one, huh?
Hey, we got through it, Tom.
We did it.
Could have been
We
worse.
really barely did. If the fans had to listen to the unedited version of this pod, I think we would have lost a couple fans.
I don't think that's the case. I think if you guys listen to this whole thing, we'd gain more fans. Levi agrees
Don't
too.
buy that one.
Anyways, okay.
I've
don't
been
know.
huffing and puffing enough. I don't think they need you anymore.
All right. Well, Ty, how about you conclude this one? Give us a good send-off. Wrap it up.
All right, guys. Well, we got through that pod. Talked about a few things. Some important things, some not so important things, but
Grass.
that's the hint. So I know you guys, again, already figured it out off that, but stay tuned for Friday still because it's going to be a big one.
Yep.
But yeah, you heard our thoughts on the Eagles Cobras. talked you guys through playoffs and our predictions. Talked about some hints, some more fun segments from Levi. That's going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for listening, and this was Pipe It Up Podcast.
Pipe it up.